Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mariana5 for Raise Your Edge.
And this is Followed 86, also for Raise Your Edge, and we are super stoked to bring you the Mastering Live Cash course, which is focused solely on crushing the live games.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first things first, let's talk about some of the reasons why playing live cash games in today's poker environment can be a really wise choice.
Okay, let's start with the first question, why live cash? And I think the reason is fairly simple, because live cash games are still very, very soft, especially when you compare the stakes to online, and we can gain huge edges on our opponents when we study a lot. And studying is super important, because when you study a lot, you will be better than most other regulars, so you can win even money from the regulars, not only from the recreational players. And yeah, this is super beneficial. And also, when you don't study at all, against some regulars, you're definitely way behind, so they will make a ton of money from you. And yeah, you don't want to be in this situation. And also, when we study a lot, we can increase our overall win rate, so we can make more US dollar per hour, and this should always be our main goal. And you can make a good living playing live cash games, and the reason is pretty simple. So usually live cash games start at 1-2. Here in Europe, some places only offer 2-4, so 2-4 is the lowest stake you can play, and this means even when we play somewhat higher, so 2-4, 2-5, 5-5, all those games are still not very hard, and this means making a living playing live cash is definitely possible nowadays. And you can really travel the world and playing in live cash games, because in every bigger city there is usually a casino, and then yeah, you can just grind it out in the live cash games. And what's also very nice about live cash is the social aspect. So you can talk to other people. You're not sitting at home on your own. You're sitting on a live cash game table with 8 or 9 other players. And very often at the live feld there are nice conversations. People tell funny stories. And yeah, it's just about the interaction, that you're not always sitting at home playing online. Who will benefit from this course? And I think really every player that is looking to improve his game. So you really should try to push your limits, and then you can begin to profit big at the tables. And yeah, it's really open to everyone, from beginners to semi-recs, and even for pros. And this means if you play usually in your $10 home game with friends, if you play 1-3 at your local casino, if you play 2-5, 5-5 at your local casino, or even higher, the course is for everyone, and every player can improve with this course. We will provide you all the important fundamentals that you really become a better player overall. And with this course, you can definitely join the amazing Raise Your Edge poker training community created by Bencb. And this is a major factor, because there you have a network of fellow poker players for your support, so you can always ask questions on Discord.
Let's have a look at what the course actually entails now. So we've used a very comprehensive approach with this course, trying to cover as many of the common areas and scenarios as possible. And we're always open to making future videos as well. If students have any topics they want to discuss, it's definitely going to be a very interactive course. So because we've covered so many areas, it's going to allow you to feel comfortable and confident in your games once you've gone through the course and put the work in. We start out with solid winning fundamentals, and then we move along to more advanced proven winning strategies. So again, we're covering a ton here. We're going to teach you to adapt to and exploit the different player types and table lineups, which you'll see in these live games. Throughout the course, we combine theory with in-game hand examples. So first you're going to be learning about the reasons and the logic behind the plays in the theory videos, and then you'll move along to how the theory is applied into practice in the hand example videos. The course starts out with 2 off-the-table preparation videos, which will give you some ideas about what you can do outside of the game in order to better equip you for the actual in-game play. We then move on to all areas of pre-flop play, so you're going to be learning all the optimal ranges and adjustments. There are 15 pre-flop videos. We're first going to be learning about the theory behind our pre-flop strategy, and then there's going to be videos explaining our ranges, and there's going to be tons of in-depth pre-flop hand examples. From there, we're going to be moving along to all areas of post-flop play. So there's going to be 27 videos in the post-flop section. We're going to teach you the winning lines and the reasons and theory behind these lines. So once you start to develop an understanding of the concepts and how they actually work, you're going to see patterns start to develop, and then you can start to apply these to all sorts of different situations effectively. We're going to be simplifying advanced post-flop concepts in this course as well. It's one of our main goals, because the fact is winning poker doesn't have to be super complex, especially in these games. You can play solid fundamental poker and earn the money. We're going to teach you how to calmly break down hands in-game. So with the work you put in through this course and through your own study, it's going to allow you to make the most profitable decisions at the table by breaking down the hands in your head. We're also going to be teaching you how to play your entire range. So we're not going to be thinking about just our hand. We're going to be thinking about entire ranges and how to effectively use those in-game. This is going to give you the confidence to earn the money at the tables. We're also going to be teaching you how to adjust to the different player types and styles and to beat them all. And this is incredibly important because in these games you're going to meet all sorts of different players, so we definitely want to be able to change up our strategy to maximally exploit the different player types. We'll be starting out with the flop play. So we have videos on being the raiser, on being the caller, on being in position, out of position, and also in 3 and 4 bet pots. We're going to be covering all of these. So we're going through the theory along with hand examples for all these sections. We're going to be going over when and why we should be betting and for how much. We're going to be thinking about when and why we should be calling or raising and against who. And of course we're going to be talking about different board textures and different table dynamics and how we want to be adjusting. And also thinking about planning for future streets. This is incredibly important as well. So we're going to come up with very solid game plans for the flop play and then what we want to think about moving on to the turn. We'll then be moving along to the turn play, where we'll be learning how to navigate perhaps the toughest street in No Limit Hold'em. We're going to be learning how to construct our turn range so that we know what to do with all parts of it. So again, thinking about when and why we want to be betting and for what sizings, and when and why we want to be calling versus bets or raising, and then thinking about the different player types as well, obviously. And again, learning how to plan for the different rivers so that we're not just going into the river lost and blind, because that's obviously not a strategy we want to be employing. So then coming to the river play, we're going to learn how to make the best decisions when the stakes are highest. So what we want to be looking for when we're bluff catching, and obviously the work we put in is going to allow us to stay calm and confident in the huge pots. So this is incredibly important. You don't want to be making big mistakes on the river. We're also going to teach you how to become a master of other concepts such as bluffing, playing draws, playing in multi-way and limp pots, and playing deep stack. So now to have a look at exactly what you're going to be getting with the course. There are 44 videos total, as I talked about. These will be on theory. There'll be ones on explaining the pre-flop ranges, and then there will be ones with hand examples. There are over 50 pre-flop ranges included in this course. These will be covering all the positions and actions. And these ranges are also updatable as the games evolve. There are over 350 in-depth hand examples in the hand example videos. So with these, you're going to be able to apply the concepts you learn in the theory videos into practice and see what it looks like. You're going to learn how to play in the common and uncommon spots by watching these videos. All of this amounts to over 20 hours of content in total. You're also going to get access to the private cash game group in the Discord app. There's going to be coaches in there giving feedback on hands. So this is going to allow you to put in a ton of additional study and ask any questions you have regarding the course, and of course interact with other players, other students. Support is key in poker, so this is just going to help you a ton on your poker journey. You can also create study groups from this app, build a team in order to reach the top. This is super important. And of course, you want to be posting and analyzing as many hands as possible in the Discord app, giving feedback as well on other players' hands. It's going to help your game a ton. It's going to help to sharpen your skills. Really valuable stuff. Let's have a look at our philosophy now regarding the course and how you want to go about studying it. The main goal with this course is to give you the knowledge to become your own coach. This is the razor edge philosophy. So we want to get you to a level where you can start breaking down hands and analyzing them and thinking about all the important factors when breaking these hands down. We're going to be teaching you solid fundamentals and also advanced strategies. So by the end of the course, you're going to have a very high level understanding of the game and how to apply it at the tables. Now, there's obviously no secret pill in poker. We're well aware of this. So it's not as though you're going to be able to just watch a couple videos and then start crushing the games. But what you can do is to put in the work along with this course to develop your skills, and if you keep studying hard, keep putting in the hours, you can certainly excel by using this combination and start crushing the live games. As far as studying goes, the main point is to be very active. So you don't just want to watch the videos and then that's it. You want to take notes and then review those notes. You also want to review the videos multiple times to develop a deep understanding of why we're doing stuff in all spots, not just simply looking at the screen and saying, okay, he did that, but I'm not really sure why he did that. You also don't want to move on from a section until you're very comfortable with the knowledge. So if you're still having a lot of troubles pre-flop, then just make sure you spend a lot of time in the pre-flop section until you become comfortable, because if you skip ahead and if you start looking at different concepts, maybe some more advanced post-flop concepts, if you still have really bad pre-flop fundamentals, it's really not going to matter too much. You're still going to end up losing. So just go through the course very slowly, be humble, and realize there's obviously a lot to learn, but that's why we're here. Also be active on the Raise Your Edge forum and in the Discord app. This is really important. The more hands you post, the more feedback you give, the better you're going to get. It's really a great way to analyze your own thoughts, break down hands, and obviously get feedback from different sources to get different ideas on the different spots. Essentially, we just want to be constantly reviewing our play. It's just so important to always have a look at your game, where you're at, where your weak points might be, where you're developing well. So you definitely want to have outside sources looking at your game at all times. Otherwise, you can actually become pretty delusional if you think you're doing certain things right when maybe you're not, or maybe you're actually doing certain things right but you think they're wrong because you've been running bad in those spots. So just make sure you keep studying and keep reviewing your play.
Okay, here a few points about myself. I'm playing poker now for 13 years, so a really long time. And of course, I started as everyone, just playing with some friends. Then I saw that you can also play online, and from that point on, I was hooked. I'm a poker coach and I'm playing professional also for around 8 years now, so a really long time, especially in the online poker environment. Yes, I started at the real micro stakes, so at 2 cent, 4 cent fixed limit. But then I discovered that there are also no limit tables available. So very soon I switched over and moved up in stakes without ever depositing a single dollar. And I always liked the idea of playing live cash, so I played in some local home games on a regular basis. I also went to the casino very often, and of course when I turned 21 I jumped into the plane to Vegas to play a few weeks of cash games over there. But of course this is a long time ago now and within the last years I definitely increased my playing on the live field, because I really like the idea. I like the social aspect and not sitting all the time alone in front of your computer. And nowadays I would say I play a pretty good mixture of playing online and playing live cash games in Germany. And I think that consistency is the most important thing, and the willingness to always get better and always to improve your game. Because if you're lazy and you don't have the willingness to get better and to improve, all the other players will get better. And at some point, they are better than you, and your win rate decreases, and very soon you are a huge losing player. And that's why it is so important to always try to improve, always think about new ideas.
Okay, so a little bit about my poker history here. I started playing about 14 years ago, and I've been playing professionally now for 10 years. When I first started, it was just with friends, playing home games, just $10 and $20 tournaments. But right away, I was really intrigued by the game, and I knew it was something that I wanted to pursue. So around the same time, I also learned about online play, and I began playing online tournaments a lot. I definitely wasn't studying the game at all back then. I didn't get any coaching. I didn't have any set strategies, but the games were also so soft back then that if you were able to just play solid and not make a ton of huge errors, you were actually able to start making money. So as I gained experience over a couple years, eventually I was able to make enough to start playing for a living. So I played online tournaments full-time for a living for about 3 or 4 years before switching over to online cash games. And it was at that time that I decided to start taking the game way more seriously. I started to get coaching and doing a lot of studying off training sites. I also played some Hyper Turbo sit and goes around that time as well, so I was mixing those in, and I was still playing some online tournaments here or there as well, but mainly focusing on cash games. And in the past 2 years, I actually started playing live cash games full time in Vancouver. There's really good games here, and I've really been enjoying it. So that's obviously been great. I was able to meet Bencb 3 years ago. He gave me some coaching in Hyper Turbo sit and goes. So that really opened my eyes to some higher level of play and kind of what an elite player thinks about when he's approaching the game. Now, lastly, as far as keys to success in poker, in my opinion, they are mentorship, consistent study, and networking. So first of all, mentorship, really important to try to find someone who has done what you're attempting to do and look at the ways they've been able to do it, obviously. Look at what type of goals they make, what type of path they've followed, what type of habits they keep. It's just going to be really beneficial to you if you're able to get this information. You can definitely fast track yourself and save a ton of time. As far as consistent study goes, this should go without saying. The game is always evolving, so if you stay stagnant, it's going to pass you by, whereas if you're able to outwork your opponents off the tables, you can certainly create edges in any game you play. So we always need to be mindful of this. You definitely don't want to be resting on your laurels and think that you know everything, because there's just so much to learn in poker. It's really endless, so I would definitely suggest trying to create an appetite for learning, create good habits, and it's going to pay off big time in the end. And then networking, this kind of goes hand in hand with studying, also with mentorship. So you kind of want to reach out to different players who are better than you, players who are the same skill level as you. Try to get more information from different sources. And also it's important to try to create a team. of players around you. It's good for a support system as well. If you go on a really tough run, you want to have people you're able to talk about to get you out of the downswings, make sure you're still playing well, and also just having players to bounce ideas off. It's going to be really beneficial, so make sure you definitely reach out and try not to do it all alone, because even the great players usually had a team coming up. You'll find that they always have players they can talk to hands about. It's going to be really rare to find somebody who's done it all on their own. So you definitely want to keep this in mind.
Alright guys, so now that you know what the course is all about, we hope to see you soon in the Raise Your Edge community.
Yeah, for sure. And in the meantime, good luck at the tables. This has been Mariana5.
And followed A6 for Raise Your Edge.